Amazonas Theatre Brazilian opera house located in Manaus. The Amazonas Theatre, Portuguese, Teatro Amazonas, is an opera house located in Manaus, in the Amazon rainforest, which was inaugurated on December 31, 1896. Amazonas Theatre. History. It was built during the Belle Epoque when fortunes were made thanks to the extraction of rubber, a period known as the rubber fever. Its construction was proposed by Antonio José Fernandes Jr., member of the Chamber of Deputies, in 1881, who wanted to make Manaus one of the high places of Brazilian culture. Although the state approved the project, there was no consensus on funding and the start of work was delayed. In 1882, the president of the province, José Lustosa Paranagua, approved a larger budget and put in competition the various plans proposed. In 1884, the project of the Italian architect Celestial Sicardum, inspired by Renaissance architecture, was chosen. It was then that the work began. Between 1885 and 1892, the construction of the theatre was punctuated by stops and delayed its inauguration. From Alsace come the tiles for the roof. From Paris the furniture and fabrics, Louis XV style. From Italy the marble for the stairs, the statues and the columns, and, from England, the steel for the walls. The theatre was equipped with 198 chandeliers, including 32 of Murano glass. 1. The curtains, depicting a copy of the Rencontre des were originally created in Paris by the artist Crispin du Amaral, represent the junction between the Rio Negro and the Rio Solimões, which form the Amazon. Outside, the dome is covered with 36,000 glazed tiles in the colors of the Brazilian flag. Exhibition room. Work resumed in 1893. In 1895, the masonry work was finished. Also, the interior decoration and the installation of the lights could be accelerated. The Italian Domenico de Angelis signed the magnificent painted panels that color the ceilings of the auditorium and the courtroom. Although there was an inauguration and a few performances, it took another 2 years for the construction of the theatre to be completed, completing 17 years of work in total. The theatre was inaugurated on December 31, 1896, and the first performance took place on January 7, 1897, with the Italian opera La Gioconda by Amilcare Ponchielli. The building has since been restored on 4 occasions, in 1929, in 1974, and between 1988 and 1990. Currently, it has a 701-seat hall with seats covered in red velvet. The monument is present in the film Teatrto, directed by the German Werner Herzog in 1982. At the beginning of the film, the mad opera character, Brian Sweeney Fitzgerald, known as Fitzcarraldo, seeks to settle down to listen to Ernani, by Verdi, sung by Enrico Caruso. He arrives at the end of the work, where we can see his interior. While there were some speculations that the building was erected to attract the famous tenor Caruso, doubts persist as to whether he ever sang there. A British journalist, Christina Lamb, noted in 2001 the rebirth of opera at the Amazonas Theatre, 4 years ago. No performance had been held for almost 90 years. Then a new governor of the Amazon was elected, a populist named Amazonino Mendes, who decreed that this city should have a first-rate orchestra, choir and corps de ballet. It delivered nearly £1.5 million a year, a huge amount in a country where half the population is illiterate and lives on £60 a month. 2. This had the consequence of placing Manaus in first place for a rather unexpected musical migration. Some of the best European musicians were tempted to switch to orchestras such as the Kirov in Manaus, thus justifying a better salary. In fact, 39 of the 54 members of the Philharmonic Orchestra come from Bulgaria, Belarus and Russia. Even the archivist was born in Belarus. Ref. Necessary. Every year, the Amazonas Theater hosts a film and festival.